Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me. This is Australia's most popular golf podcast with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn, the only player to beat Tiger Woods twice in match play, and tour pro Mark Allen, who played professional golf around the world for 15 years, including a British Open. We're coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist is the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy is the #1 shoe and glove in golf. And thanks to our great partners, Watch My Numbers, the most powerful database golf app in the world. Download from the App Store or Google Play. Ping, as with Nick O'Hearn, will help you play your best. See your local golf shop or professional for a Ping Club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now that's better. Now, from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie to Me. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Well, good day, everybody. Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me. Mark Allen here and Nick O'Hearn as well. We've got Chris Patterson, also from FootJoy, the product manager of Australia and New Zealand. Good to see you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate you having me. Thank
I reckon
you.
a lot of people, Nick, would have seen what we've been performing in front of, which is the range of FootJoy shoes, which is quite it is extravagant, really, how many shoes are on offer in this country.
Absolutely. There's a few. We've a bit over 60 in men's and around 20 in women's, so very, very extensive, yeah.
So you're the product manager. What do you do? Tell me.
Yeah, great question. So basically I pick the range for Australia and New Zealand for both shoe, glove, apparel and socks. And as you can appreciate, there's a few hundred SKUs to pick from.
Yeah.
So it's my job to sift through those few hundred SKUs and I guess work out what's going to be best for our marketplace. So when we're looking at that, we're looking at, hey, what's best for the golfer, market trends. We've got to look at things like, what sizes do we bring in the shoes? We're talking about, medium and wide, what we do there. Apparel, do we add an FJ onto the collar? Do we make it regular athletes? There's a lot of those nuances that we work through. So we put that into the melting pot and voila, what we bring to market. So.
Brilliant. Well, I tell you, ever since I started wearing FootJoy shoes, it's the only shoe where I've put them straight on.
Yep.
I never get a blister.
Yep.
Never get a blister.
That is true.
Wow. 10 double E in the beginning, now 10 wide.
Yes, yep.
Because obviously the sizing's changed, but it's crazy. I'm wearing the Quantums at the moment. They're fabulous. But what are you sort of seeing currently as the more popular ones, or what's the trend at the moment, do you think?
Yeah, look, good question. Look, we are seeing probably in terms of the market, probably the athletic styling. It's a bit similar to sort of what you're wearing.
Yeah, love them.
But on tour, still the classic styling still dominates. Obviously we can go through a couple of the new styles shortly. But definitely in the marketplace, athletic is definitely resonating with the golfer for sure.
What makes a golf shoe? What's so different from a running shoe versus just a normal training shoe, doing a work shoe, just a normal leather shoe.
Yep.
What goes into the design of a golf shoe to help golfers play better golf?
Yeah. So, I think the most important thing is, FootJoy is golf only. We don't do basketball, we don't do tennis. So, all of the foams, the materials, the compository we use in the outsole is all specific for golf. So in the US, we do a lot of testing. So, we've got machines that essentially replicate what happens in the swing. We look at different lies, we look at torsion, we look at flex. So all of that data feeds into the design team. And then essentially they look at that and say, okay, what do we need to do? Do we need to change the angle of the outsole nubs? The trend still dominates what happens on the upper. But essentially it's all data driven, and that's what we're looking at these days, yeah.
Do you think? There's obviously been changes over the years, and when I came out on tour, it was the FootJoy leather soles with the big spikes.
Here it is.
You've got one right
I've got
there.
it right here. Yes.
Well, it doesn't have the spikes. It's got the rubber spikes.
Yep.
I was going to say, what has over your time been the biggest change? Is it from spike to rubber spikes, or is it more spikes to spikeless? Or
look, there's definitely a trend. I mean, look, on the PJ Tour, it's still cleated. So it's certainly not metal, but more the rubber cleats. Probably in the marketplace, there's probably been a bit of a shift towards more the spikeless area. We at FootJoy still believe the cleat provides the best traction and grip. But, we are producing some fantastic spikeless shoes these days. But, yes, the Classics Dry Premier, which I've got here, you look at the equivalent shoe now, it's about half the weight of what this was.
I picked this up. What? It's ridiculous, the difference.
I know, absolutely. And that was the pinnacle of golf footwear, all those years ago, and I guess where we've come from now.
So Nick and I, we've had the correct fitting shoe our entire lives as professional golfers. What about golfers off the street? I mean, what are you seeing? Are you seeing them come in and go, I'm on 11, and yet when you fit them in the FootJoy, there's something totally different?
So we are finding that the majority of people are both amateur and actually at the tour level are either in the wrong length, the wrong width, or a combination of both. And I think people's feet change over time. People don't understand about sizing, and every shoe brand has a different sizing standard. So what you might be an 11 in a running shoe, you may not necessarily be an 11 in a golf shoe, for example. So, it's our job to, educate those golfers, particularly new ones coming into the game, the importance of getting fitted and actually trying the shoes on before you buy.
Because there's nothing worse, Nick, I don't know about you, but you put on a pair of shoes that may not be for golf, but you just hit a few in the range.
Yep.
And when your feet slip around in like your dress shoe, the difference in control and trying to hit the sweet spot it's ridiculous. I feel like you're playing golf on ice skates.
Well, you know how I had that hole-in-one at Wagga Wagga last
year?
Yes,
you're in the street shoes.
I was actually wearing...
It always comes back to the hole-in-one.
But what I'm saying was, my goal when I was doing that was actually just not to fall over.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
my first couple of swings, I almost fell over. That's how much the golf shoes... So it was more of just a half swing with no footwork, and maybe I need to do that more, I don't know. But
So golf shoes have got to be snug, but they've got to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
So how do you do it?
Yeah, look, absolutely. And I think, I think we've got to recognise that, hey, shoes are an important piece of our equipment. And, you guys talked about stability, how can you be stable when you're moving around in your shoes? So there's a lot of comfort built into the shoe that'll take care of that, either through the foam or the fit bed. But once you've got that fit, you shouldn't have the blisters. You should be locked in. You should be stable. And that's essentially how you're going to be able to execute your best shot. So...
I also noticed the FootJoy sock range.
Yes.
Now, we're just coming out of summer here in Australia, but there is nothing better than a fresh pair of FootJoy socks. Now, I imagine there's some kind of technology in the socks as well.
Yeah, there is. And it's funny you say that because my mates say exactly the same thing. Love trying on a new pair of socks. It feels fantastic. Yeah, look, it's a lot of the fabrics that we use in socks now are moisture wicking. There's a lot of cushioning built into socks. So, again, you throw that into a shoe that's got all that comfort built in, you're going to have an amazing ride on the golf course. So, yeah.
It's like your feet get a bit of time off for 18 holes, isn't it? It's just massaging your feet all the way around. I love it.
So tell us about the shoes you've got here. Yeah. I mean, this is the new range we've got. And I have noticed that Justin Thomas, he's gone from always wearing classical. He's gone to something a little bit different.
He has, absolutely. So we could talk about that later on. So essentially, this one, I'll hand this one to you guys. So
beautiful.
This is the Premier Series. So this is obviously the flagship of the FootJoy line. It's based on our heritage, obviously, where we were with classics. This particular pattern here is called the Packer. There is also another style called the Field, which is really popular on tour as well. Full leather. It's, you've got that brick midsole. We're sort of playing around a bit with the textures and colours here through Premier Series.
I love the texture of the base colour, the white. I mean, it is just beautiful.
Absolutely. We call that the bison imprint. So, a lot of guys have already got a white and black pair. So, hey, why don't you have the white navy? Why don't you have the white grey? So we're doing a lot of cool things with Premier. We've got some limited editions coming up as well. So that's another area that we're looking at.
And I love the base too. Again, this old classic here, hold that one up. I mean, that's got the black sole, but there were some white shoes with the leather sole, the brown leather sole. And this kind of harks back to those days.
Absolutely. And I think it's all about styling. It's all about matching the outfit. And, you look at what happens on tour. Adam Scott, he's always been a really great dresser, and, he colour coordinates his shoes with his outfits.
He colour coordinates his glasses. So
that is true. And watch band. Yeah, I didn't stop.
Oh, fantastic. So that's our Premier Series. So then we've got Hyperflex. So this is our new athletic shoe. We've just actually launched that to market in the last couple of weeks. So
JT's gone to this?
Sorry, say again?
JT's gone to this one?
Yeah, absolutely has. So This has got a lot of performance built in. So this is an engineered mesh upper. It's got a coating on the top. So, we get a lot of questions with mesh shoes about cleanability, durability. So obviously that coating is going to take care of that. You've got a full midsole foam, so the cushioning is going to be great. You're going to have a really comfortable ride. And then you've got that outsole, which, flexes really well. So in terms of fatigue and walking, it's going to be great. Little hits of colour being in that athletic space as well. So, we can play on that too, which is great.
Now, I want to get to these two shoes as well, but I do want to just throw on the second half of this program some of the best Titleist FootJoy players have gained something very special.
Yep, absolutely.
And we're talking about ball speed. Now, we'll give you those details a little bit later, but there's a crisscross, so wait for that. But
absolutely.
Talk me through these two shoes.
Yeah, so Nick, I think you were saying you're wearing these at the moment. This is FootJoy's most comfortable shoe, and it all derives from the foam that we're using, what we call soft foam. So if you squish that, it's really comfortable. It's a really soft leather upper, so it's going to mould to your foot. A couple of different colours we've got in that. We do that in men's and women's. That is the expression of comfort right there.
It's funny, because I watch the seniors as well as the men's and the women's golf. It seems like a lot of seniors, who have been walking golf courses their entire lives have gone to this shoe just for the comfort, I imagine, and also the control.
Absolutely, and you've got that on-off course versatility as well. So you go from home to the golf course. So, for some people, that's what they want. But, comfort always comes up as that word in terms of, what a golfer's looking for. And then the final shoe we've got here is what we call Fuel. So this is really lightweight. So this is...
It can't be lighter than this.
It is.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wowza.
So this is actually, we were able to actually make a 10% weight saving on this Fuel here versus where we've been before. So this is a premium sort of synthetic upper, full foam. Yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely. And we can have a lot of fun in this category with colour. It certainly is the category where we can do that. But you'll feel, and where we were here, it's chalk and cheese in terms of the weight. Yeah.
Now, Nick, you and I, and it's got to be said, Dan, we get to see some stuff in this showroom from time to time that we're probably not supposed to show, but just give them a sneak peek. Right. The tiny little sneak peek's not out yet.
Here we go.
This is mine before yours, by the way. So we love this shoe.
I know. Yeah. So this is what we call Court, FJ Court. So this will be launching in the Australian marketplace later in the year.
So good.
And this is very much an off-course wear, but we are seeing this as a trend. And for that guy who just loves FootJoy and wants another pair of shoes, particularly in the street space, then hey, this is going to be the product for him.
I'd wear these into the office.
Well, it's funny, when I go into the office, everyone's wearing that stylish shoe anyway.
Absolutely.
And for the golfers out there, if you want to sneak off and go down to the driving range, that gives you a very big head start, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
You can wear them both ways.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm really excited about that. I think we're going to go all right with that.
Nice colour range with those.
Yeah, so we've got white and black.
Okay.
So pretty safe colours, but that's what people want.
Yes.
So Chris, we've arrived on the 9th green nicely.
Beautiful.
But you've got some tour ball speed information that correlates the FootJoy shoes.
Yep.
I'll see you on the 10th tee. I can't wait to hear this.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Looks good, man. Dude. Are we in slow motion, too?
We're live from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. We all know the number one ball in golf is Titleist and the number one shoe and glove in golf is FootJoy. We're here thanks to the Golf Clearance Outlet. They beat everyone's prices. Ping will always help you play your best. Turn your bogeys into birdies with the Watch My Numbers app. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. That's better. Now, back to Talk Birdie to Me. Here's Nick and Mark.
So welcome to the 10th tee of this FootJoy special for Talk Birdie to Me. We've got Chris Patterson with us. Good on you, Chris. And Nick, you got a question. I want to know the answer to this question too.
Yeah, the MyJoys, where you can create your own. Okay, what is the craziest thing you've ever seen with the MyJoys? Because you can do some pretty cool stuff.
Oh my God, yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So basically, the golfer becomes their own product manager, and oh wow, geez, we've seen some unbelievable colour combinations. I mean, you look at it, you think, Jesus, I wouldn't be seen dead on the course wearing that. But people have put their flags, their initials on there. Occasionally we do limited edition sort of prints, so people can sort of coordinate that with different colour. Oh, look, you can have heaps of fun on there. You'll spend hours on there. So, it's a really great initiative, and it's mainly because of sizing. We do 5 to 15 in different widths as well. So it's a very extensive range of offering there. So
just go to footjoy.com.au.
Absolutely, and there's a link to the MyJoys, and go for your life, and you'll have a great time.
Remarkable. Now, I was speaking to Tim Snow.
Yes, righto.
And I said to Tim, why has JT swapped shoes? He told me something I couldn't believe. Now, I want you to tell the pack
absolutely
what the story is.
Yeah, so we've had a great relationship with obviously JT over the years, great ambassador. He's been in Premier Series, and he's performed to a great level. But he came to us and said, "Hey, have you got anything else? I'm keen to have a look and try something else." And obviously the shoe that Nick's got in his hand here, Hyperflex, came to him. So, we sort of got it on his feet. We did some work with him, looked at his data stats. And believe it or not, he actually increased his ball and swing speed in Hyperflex.
That is crazy.
So, and then you look at the other side, Cam Young, he was in Hyperflex and then went back to Premier Series. So he went the other way, and very similar results. So I think it sort of shows that, hey, not every shoe is equal. Every player's different. Premier is such a great shoe. Hyperflex is such a great shoe. So it just depends on the player, and hey, that's a great result. And those two guys are, out there in those products, and they're really, as I said, really great ambassadors for our brand. So
not only do you look good, feel good, but you're going to hit the ball another 20 yards further, mate.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's these guys are looking for all those little minute sort of differences, and like at the amateur level as well. So hey, it was great we were able to do that for him.
Well, Chris, congratulations to you and the people at FootJoy.
Thank you, Mark.
Honestly,
Nick.
every time we come in to do the show, Nick and I are standing in front of this wall, checking out the shoes. And
I'm salivating. That's what I'm
doing. We certainly are. I mean, it's one of those things in golf. It's it's one of those great sports to where the game within a game is how you look and how you feel on the golf course.
100%.
And FootJoy does that for so many players.
Fantastic. No, thank you very much, guys, for having me, and really appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Okay, can you just tell Tim Snow to get me a pair of these
Absolutely.
immediately?
Hey, we can arrange that for you. No worries at all.
Where is he? Tim, I'm looking at Tim 11 wide. A pair of these immediately. See you next time, folks.
Thank you.
And that's been Talk Birdie to Me, Australia's most popular golf podcast, with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen, coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. As everyone knows, Titleist is the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to subscribe, maybe leave a review, and we'd love you to share the pod with a friend who loves their golf. Huge thanks to our fantastic partners. Ping, like they do for Nick O'Hearn, will help you play your best. You can see your local golf shop or professional for a Ping Club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet always beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. Watch My Numbers is the most powerful data-based golf app in the world. You can download from the App Store or Google Play. And better, they've got the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Download from the App Stores today. Now that's better. Keep in mind, what are you really gambling with? But for now, from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, thanks for being a part of the show. We'll see you next time.